Hello everyone. Today I have a relatively familiar story for you. In fact, it might seem entirely duplicative to something I've done before, but stick with me for just the next couple of minutes, and we'll reach the point. Her being a mother is irrelevant. Parents who commit crimes are taken away from their families all the time. This is what you risk happening when you break the law. It is tragic, but again, irrelevant. She had these 4 children in this country, and they are thus citizens. But she is not, and was here illegally.
It just feels horrible when anyone takes away someone you really love close to your heart. It just takes them away and says you won't see them anymore.
And I have nothing but empathy for her children, that they are having to go through this. But this occurrence has been a long time in coming, and is wholly the consequence of their mother's choices. Being effectively on monitored probation does not count as an alleviation of criminal liability. Unexpectedly. Not quite, but we'll get to that in a moment.
The administration says that they're only deporting dangerous people. I want somebody to tell me how Maribel Trujillo is a dangerous person.
Yes, that is something that the Trump administration has said. But Father, was it Trump that ordered her deportation? And when did she submit the asylum application? Was it before or after she entered the country illegally and was detained by ICE? Multiple appeals. So this case has been debated over for a while. Let's review the facts of the case, those details of which Fusion is conveniently omitting. Miss Trujillo Diaz came to the U.S. in 2002, but she first encountered ICE agents during a workplace raid of the Koch Foods factory where she was working in 2007, before she had her work permit. She pursued an asylum hearing, as she had fled Mexico after gang members began targeting her family because her brother refused to join the gang, according to her lawyer, Emily Brown. Miss Trujillo Diaz's application for asylum was rejected, as was her appeal. Despite a final order of removal issued in 2014, immigration officials had allowed Miss Trujillo Diaz to live in the U.S. with the understanding that she would check in with ICE once a year. So the final deportation order was issued under the Obama administration, a whole year before Trump even announced his candidacy. Trump didn't issue the warrant. Obama did. Obama just sat on it, buying her 3 more years. Trump was not under any obligation to ignore a legal warrant. But about that part where she was unexpectedly arrested. At her first check-in since the Trump administration issued its new enforcement priorities, ICE agents told Ms. Trujillo Diaz to prepare for deportation proceedings. She returned for a second check-in on April 3rd, and again, ICE agents told her to be ready to be removed from the U.S. 2 days later, ICE officers arrested her as she was leaving for work. Fusion, not long ago you put out an editorial and an accompanying video proselytizing standards of ethical journalism, even chastising the mainstream outlets for not adhering to the high standards you were setting for yourselves. Do you remember this declaration?
These days, news organizations are asking hard questions about journalistic integrity and factual accuracy, and it all comes down to word choice. Why?
Because language has the power to deceive, dehumanize, and distort facts. And the words we use in public conversations have consequences.
So, as a news organization, we at Fusion are recommitting ourselves to a key part of our editorial style guide. Use words that inform, empower, and elevate facts over fantasy or political fiction, and show the difference.
So, Fusion, I have to ask, with as shoddy a recitation of the relevant facts in this case, as with so many others, as you have presented, with as deceptive as your retelling has been in relation to reality, how are you at all journalists and not simply propagandists? As always, thank you for watching.